They called her Burnface. Behind her back, Anna Carter, a 35-year-old waitress at Henry's Diner in West Texas, bore scars that snaked across her shoulder and neck, relics of a war she'd buried deep. Each morning, she served coffee with a quiet grace, ignoring the stares, the whispers, the cruel laughs from roughnecks who thought her marks made her less. But those scars weren't from some kitchen fire or car wreck. They were forged in Ramadi, Iraq in 2006, when Army medic Anna Carter shielded a soldier from an ID blast, saving his life at the cost of her own skin. Now, pouring coffee under flickering lights, she hid her Purple Heart, her Bronze Star, her 3rd Infantry tattoo, until a stranger walked in. His eyes caught the faded ink on her arm, and everything changed. A hero's secret was about to unravel, tying her past to a world still burning with conflict. If stories like this speak to you, hit the like button and subscribe. There's more to come. Anna's sneakers scuffed the diner's worn linoleum as she weaved through booths, her apron dusted with flour from the breakfast rush. The air smelled of bacon and burnt toast, the hum of conversation blending with the sizzle of the grill. At 35, she carried herself with a soldier's precision, her dark hair tied back, her white shirt sleeves tugged low to hide the scars that crawled up her left arm. They weren't just marks. They were a map of survival, etched in fire when she'd thrown herself over a wounded corporal under enemy fire. But here, in this dusty stretch of Highway 90, she was just Anna, the waitress who never forgot an order. The morning crowd was predictable, truckers nursing black coffee, locals debating crops, and a rowdy crew of oilfield workers who'd made Henry's their pit stop. Led by a loudmouth named Trey, they never missed a chance to jab at Anna's appearance. "Hey, Burnface," Trey called as she approached their table, coffee pot in hand. "Don't drip any of that on me. I might end up like you." His buddy snickered, their eyes lingering on her neck. Anna's face stayed blank, her hands steady. She'd faced worse than their taunts in field hospitals, patching up soldiers while mortars shook the ground. These guys were nothing. "Anything else?" she asked, her voice flat, taking their orders for eggs and hash browns. "What's with the scars?" Another worker, Jake, pressed, his tone half curious, half cruel. "Get caught in a grease fire." Anna ignored him, moving to the next table. The regulars knew better than to pry. An old couple in the corner sipped their coffee, a trucker at the counter buried in his phone. They'd seen Trey's crew at it before, their jeers a morning ritual no one challenged. "But she can't even smile with that face," Trey muttered, loud enough to carry. Anna's grip tightened on the pot, but she kept moving, her military discipline a shield against their venom. The diner's bell chimed, and a man in his early 40s stepped in. John Riley wore faded jeans, a worn army cap, and carried himself with the quiet alertness of a veteran. He'd been driving cross-country, chasing memories of places he'd missed during his tours in Iraq. Henry's Diner, with its neon sign and gravel lot, promised strong coffee and a moment to breathe. He slid into a booth by the window, his eyes scanning the room, landing on Anna as she refilled cups. Her posture, straight, purposeful, caught him first. Then, as she poured coffee for a nearby table, her sleeve slipped, revealing scarred skin and the edge of a tattoo. "3rd Infantry," he thought, his pulse quickening. "Coffee?" Anna asked, approaching his table, her voice neutral. "Please," John said, his gaze flicking to her arm. The tattoo's letters, 3rd to 5th, were faint but unmistakable. He'd served with that unit's soldiers in Ramadi, their medics legends for their grit. As Anna poured, her sleeve shifted again and John's breath caught. Ramadi 2006, Route, Michigan. An IED had torn through his convoy, shrapnel ripping his leg. A medic's hands, steady and sure, had kept him alive, their voice cutting through the chaos. "Hold on, Corporal, you're going home." He'd never seen their face, but that voice haunted him. Trey's voice broke the moment. "Yo, Frankenstein, my bacon's cold. Speed it up, would ya?" Anna turned, her expression unchanged. "I'll get you a fresh plate," she said, reaching for his dish. "Don't touch it with those hands," Jake snapped. "Who knows what you're carrying?" The diner tensed, the old couple glancing away, the trucker shifting uncomfortably. A kid at a nearby table, oblivious to the cruelty, piped up. "Did your scars hurt?" Anna's eyes softened. "Not as much as some things," she said, her words heavy with unspoken truth. John watched, his jaw tightening. He knew that kind of pain. Seen it in soldiers who'd carried more than their share. "Excuse me," John said, standing as Anna passed his booth. "Can I ask you something?" She paused, noting his cap, his steady gaze. "Sure. That tattoo," he said, voice low. 3rd to 5th Infantry. You served in Iraq." Anna froze, her carefully built anonymity cracking. She'd avoided this for 3 years, dodging questions, Hiding her metal's eyes held respect. Not pity, 2 tours, she said quietly. Medic, John's face paled. Ramadi 2006, Route Michigan, and you were there? Anna's heart raced. Who are you? Corporal John Riley, 2nd Battalion. You saved my life. 40 minutes under fire till the medevac came. The diner went silent, forks pausing mid-bite. Trey's crew stopped laughing, their eyes darting between Anna and John. You're the one with the leg wound, Anna said, memory flooding back. You kept asking about your team. They made it, John said, his voice thick. Because of you. He stepped closer, removing his cap, holding it over his heart. Sergeant Carter, thank you for my life. The words hit like a shockwave, transforming Anna from a scarred waitress to a hero in the eyes of everyone watching. Trey's face flushed, his bravado crumbling. The old couple's eyes glistened, the trucker's paper forgotten. Anna stood, exposed, her past laid bare in a place she'd fought to stay invisible. You're a war hero, Jake stammered, his voice small. Anna's gaze was steady. I did my job, she said. John shook his head. Your job was saving lives under fire. That's more than most can claim. The old couple stood, the husband tipping his hat. Thank you, Sergeant, the wife said, her voice trembling. The trucker cleared his throat. Should have said something sooner. We let this go on too long. Anna's chest tightened, the weight of their words clashing with her need to stay unseen. She'd chosen this quiet life to escape the pity, the questions. Now there was no hiding. Henry Larson, the diner's owner, stepped from the kitchen, his face red with shame. Anna, take the day off, paid. No one disrespects you here again, or they're out. Trey shifted, his eyes on the floor. We didn't know, he muttered. Would it have mattered? Anna asked, her question sharp. Should scars decide how you treat someone? The silence was heavy, her words a mirror to their cruelty. John stayed by her side, his presence steady. You don't owe them anything, he said. You've given enough. Anna nodded, but inside she wrestled with the truth. Her scars, her service, they weren't hers to hide anymore. And as news of Iran and Israel's rising tensions flickered on the diner's TV, she felt Ramadi's ghost stirring, pulling her back to a fight she thought she'd left behind. Anna Carter stood frozen in Henry's diner, the weight of John Riley's words still echoing. Sergeant Carter, thank you for my life. Her scars, once a source of shame, were now badges of courage laid bare before strangers. The silence in the diner was thick, broken only by the hum of the coffee machine. Trey and his oilfield crew sat, heads low, their earlier taunts exposed as cruel misjudgments. The old couple watched with tearful pride, the trucker's newspaper forgotten. Anna's heart pounded, memories of Ramadi flooding back. Dust, blood, the screams of wounded soldiers she'd fought to save. She'd buried that life, chosen anonymity to escape the pity, the questions. But John's recognition had shattered her shield, and she wasn't sure whether to feel freed or trapped. John stayed close, his army cap in hand, his eyes steady with respect. You don't have to say anything, he said softly, but they need to know who you are. Anna's gaze flicked to the customers, their faces a mix of awe and guilt. For 3 years, she'd served them coffee, endured their stares, and let Trey's crew mock her without a word. Her military discipline had kept her composed, but now something stirred. A flicker of the medic who'd run toward danger, not away. I'm not a hero, she said, her voice low but firm. I was a medic. I did what I was trained to do. John shook his head. You did more than that. You gave us a chance to come home. The old woman at the corner booth spoke up, her voice shaky. You saved lives, Sergeant. That's a hero to us. Her husband nodded, his cap still off in respect. Anna's throat tightened. She'd locked away her medals. A Purple Heart, a Bronze Star with V device, in a drawer, along with the 3rd Infantry tattoo she kept covered. In Ramadi 2006, she'd treated over 100 soldiers, dragged men from burning Humvees, worked under fire. The IED that scarred her had ended her career, but not before she'd shielded Corporal John Riley, his leg torn open, his squad counting on her to keep him alive. Those moments felt like another life, one she'd left in Iraq's dust. Trey stood, his bravado gone. We didn't know, he said, his voice rough with shame. I'm sorry, Anna, for everything. His crew nodded, their faces pale. Anna studied them, seeing regret where cruelty once lived. Apologies don't erase words, she said, but they're a start. The diner's owner, Henry Larson, stepped forward. This stops now, he said, his voice firm. Anna, your family here. Anyone who crosses you answers to me. The trucker at the counter muttered, We should have stepped in. I'm sorry, too. Anna nodded, the weight of their guilt heavy but not hers to carry. She moved to clear a table, needing the familiar motion to ground her, but John followed. Ramadi, March 15, 2006, he said, his voice low. I never saw your face clearly, but I heard you. You told me I'd see my mom again. You kept me fighting. Anna paused, a flash of that day hitting her. The heat, the smoke, John's blood soaking her gloves. You were stubborn, she said, a faint smile breaking through. Kept talking about your squad. They made it, John said. Because you didn't quit. He pulled a worn photo from his wallet. A squad of 12 soldiers, young and grinning. This is us, days before the IED. Every face here owes you. Anna's eyes stung. The photo a bridge to a life she'd tried to forget. She'd saved 17 lives across 2 tours, each one etched in her memory. Their faces, their wounds, their thanks. But the scars, the discharge, the civilian world's indifference had buried that pride. I just wanted to move on, she said, to be normal. John's gaze was steady. Normal doesn't suit you, Sergeant. You're meant for more. The diner's TV flickered, a news anchor's voice cutting through. Tensions rise as Iran and Israel exchange threats after a missile strike. U.S. forces on alert. Anna's chest tightened, the words pulling her back to field hospitals, to soldiers she couldn't save. The news stirred something deep. Fear, yes, but also resolve. She'd seen war's cost, felt it in her skin. The customers watched her, sensing the shift. A young woman at a booth spoke up. My brother's deploying soon. What was it like over there? Anna hesitated, then sat across from her. It's chaos, she said. But you find strength you didn't know you had. You fight for the person next to you. The woman's eyes glistened. He's scared. Anna reached for her hand. He'll find his courage. Tell him to hold on to that. The moment felt like Ramadi again, calming a soldier before the fight. Trey's crew left quietly, their plates half-eaten, their shame a heavy shadow. The old couple approached Anna, the husband pressing a 20 into her hand. For your service, he said. Anna tried to refuse, but the wife insisted. You've earned it, dear. As they left, Henry pulled Anna aside. I'm proud of you, he said. Take tomorrow if you need it. Anna shook her head. I'll be here. Work's what keeps me steady. But inside, she was anything but steady. John's revelation had opened a door she'd bolted shut, and the news of Iran and Israel's brinkmanship made it impossible to close again. That night, Anna sat in her small apartment, the TV muted but flashing images of Middle East tensions, missile silos, diplomats at podiums, soldiers in gear. She pulled out her medals, the Purple Heart's weight heavy in her palm. Ramadi wasn't just a memory, it was part of her, like the scars she couldn't hide. John's words echoed. You're meant for more. She'd run from her past, fearing it would define her, but maybe it was the key to something new. The diner had seen her truth, and for the first time, she wondered if she could embrace it, not as a burden, but as a strength. The next morning, Anna returned to Henry's, her sleeves rolled up slightly, the 3rd Infantry tattoo visible. Customers noticed, their stares softer now, tinged with respect. A regular retired teacher paused at the counter. I saw the news, she said. Makes me think of you out there saving lives. Anna poured her coffee. Just doing my job, she said, but the words felt different now. Less a deflection, more a truth. John stopped by, his cap tilted back. You okay? He asked. Getting there, Anna said. Thanks to you, he smiled. You gave me a second chance. Figured I'd return the favor. As he left, Anna felt a spark of purpose, a medic's instinct stirring. The world was on edge, but she'd faced worse, and she wasn't done fighting. Anna Carter moved through Henry's diner with a quiet resolve, her scars no longer hidden beneath long sleeves. The 3rd Infantry tattoo on her forearm caught the morning light, a silent badge of her past. Since John Ramsey's revelation, the diner's atmosphere had changed. Customers' glances held respect, regulars offered soft thanks, and even Henry, the gruff owner, treated her with a new deference. But the weight of her exposed identity pressed hard. For 3 years, Anna had buried her time as a combat medic in Ramadi, dodging the pity that came with heroism. Now with her story laid bare, she felt raw, torn between pride and the urge to retreat, and the news didn't help. Every TV in the diner blared updates on Iran and Israel, missile strikes, U.S. mediation attempts, a ceasefire teetering on collapse. Each headline pulled Anna back to Iraq's dust and chaos, where she'd fought to save lives under fire. The breakfast rush was in full swing when Trey and his oilfield crew returned. Their usual swagger was gone, replaced by hunched shoulders and averted eyes. Anna braced herself, expecting a half-hearted jab, but Trey just nodded as she poured their coffee. Morning, Miss Carter, he said, his voice low. Anything else? She asked, her tone neutral. Just the usual, he mumbled, his crew silent. The change was stark. They'd called her Burnface days ago, their laughs cutting deep. Now shame clung to them, their apology still fresh. Anna served their eggs, her hand steady, but inside she wrestled with their regret. It was easier to face their cruelty than their guilt. The TV flickered, a reporter's voice sharp. Iran's latest drone attack near Israeli airspace has heightened fears of escalation. U.S. troops in the region remain on high alert. Anna's chest tightened, memories of Ramadi surging. Shrapnel screams, the weight of a soldier's life in her hands. She'd shielded John from an IED blast in 2006, her scars a permanent reminder of that day. The news felt too close, as if the war she'd left was clawing its way back. A regular, an older man named Carl, noticed her pause. "You okay, Anna?" he asked, his voice kind. "Just thinking," she said, forcing a smile, "about what's out there." Carl nodded, his eyes on the screen. "Brings it all back, doesn't it? You've seen worse than most." Anna cleared a table, her mind drifting to the soldiers deploying now, facing the same fear she'd known. She'd treated over 100 wounded in Iraq, each face etched in her memory. Their pain, their gratitude, their fight to survive. Her discharge had felt like a betrayal, her scars a mark of failure. But John's words, "You're meant for more," had stirred something. She wasn't that medic anymore, but maybe she didn't have to be. A young woman at a booth waved her over. "My cousin's in the army, headed to the Gulf," she said, her voice shaky. "What do I tell him?" Anna sat, her instinct kicking in. "Tell him to trust his training," she said, "and to lean on his squad. They'll get him through." The woman's eyes teared up. "Thanks, that means a lot, coming from you." Trey's crew lingered, their plates cleared but their seats unmoved. Finally, Trey approached the counter, his hands fidgeting. "Miss Carter, we're starting a fundraiser," he said, "for veterans like you, to say sorry for real." Anna studied him, seeing sincerity beneath his unease. "That's a good thing," she said. "Make it count." He nodded, relieved, and left with his crew, their steps lighter. The diner's bell chimed, and a new customer entered. A woman in her 50s, wearing a VA volunteer pin. "You're Anna Carter," she said, her voice warm. "Word spreading about you. I'm Ellen, with the local VA. We could use someone like you at the clinic." Anna hesitated. "I'm no counselor," she said. "You don't need to be," Ellen replied. "You've lived it. That's enough." The TV cut to a Pentagon briefing, a general outlining U.S. support for Israel amid Iran's threats. Anna's hand shook as she poured coffee, the parallels to Iraq's chaos unnerving. She'd seen soldiers leave whole and return broken, or not at all. The ceasefire talks felt fragile, like the calm before a mortar strike. Carl spoke up again. "You think this'll blow over?" he asked. Anna sighed. "Wars don't blow over. People just pay the price." Her words hung heavy, the diner quiet. She'd paid her price, her skin, her career, her peace. But the news, the VA offer, Trey's change, they all pointed to something new, a chance to turn her pain into purpose. That night, Anna sat in her apartment, her purple heart glinting under the lamp. The TV showed diplomats at the UN, pushing for de-escalation between Iran and Israel. She flipped it off, unable to stomach more. Her medals, once hidden, felt like a call now. She'd run from Ramadi's ghosts, fearing they'd swallow her. But John's recognition, the diner's shift, had shown her something else. Her scars weren't just wounds. They were proof she'd survived, fought, saved. Ellen's words echoed, "You've lived it." Anna pulled out her old medic bag, untouched for years, and ran her fingers over the worn canvas. She could help again, not in a war zone, but here, where veterans carried their own scars. The next day, Anna returned to Henry's, her tattoo fully visible, her sleeves rolled up. Customers noticed, their nods carrying respect. A young man in an army hoodie approached. "Heard you were in Iraq," he said. "I'm shipping out soon." Scared as hell, Anna poured him coffee. Sitting across from him. "Fear's normal," she said. "It keeps you sharp. You'll find your strength out there." He smiled, his shoulders easing. "Thanks, ma'am." As he left, Henry pulled her aside. "You're different now," he said, proud, stronger. Anna shook her head, "Just figuring out who I am." But inside she felt it. A medic's instinct, rekindled by a world on edge. John stopped by, his cap low, his grin warm. "How's the hero holding up?" he asked. "Not a hero," Anna said, "but I'm trying." He nodded, pulling out the squad photo again. "Kept this close since Ramadi," he said. "Thought you should know. We all made it because of you." Anna's eyes stung, the faces in the photo blurring. She'd saved them, and now, maybe, she could save others, not from bullets, but from silence. The TV droned on, Iran and Israel's tensions simmering, but Anna felt steady. She'd faced war before, she could face it again, not as a soldier, but as a beacon for those still fighting. Anna Carter's hands were steady as she poured coffee at Henry's diner, but her heart was a battlefield. The 3rd Infantry tattoo on her forearm, once a secret, now drew quiet nods from regulars who knew her story. Since John Ramsey's revelation had transformed her from a scarred waitress into a celebrated combat medic, the diner had become a place of respect, not ridicule. Yet, the weight of her past pressed harder with each news report about Iran and Israel. Drone strikes, U.S. warships in the Gulf, a ceasefire unraveling. The headlines stirred Ramadi's chaos in her mind. The heat of an IED blast, the weight of a soldier's life in her hands, the scars that ended her army career. Anna had hidden from that life. But the world's rising tensions and the diner's new reverence were pulling her back, forcing her to face who she'd always been. The morning rush hummed along, the air thick with pancake syrup and bacon grease. Trey's oilfield crew was back, their once loud taunts replaced by hushed orders. "Miss Carter, eggs over easy, please," Trey said, his eyes avoiding hers. Anna nodded, serving them with the same efficiency she'd used under fire in Iraq. Their fundraiser for veterans had raised a few $1,000s, a step toward redemption, but Anna kept her distance. Forgiveness wasn't easy when their words, Burnface Frankenstein, still echoed in quiet moments. A regular Carl sipped his coffee at the counter, the TV above him blaring. Iran rejects ceasefire terms. Israel vows retaliation. Carl sighed. Looks like another mess brewing. Anna's jaw tightened. Always is, she said, her voice low. The news hit harder today. Anna's scars itched. A phantom burn from Ramadi 2006, when she'd shielded John from an IED, her skin melting as she kept him alive. She'd saved 17 lives across 2 tours, earned a Purple Heart, a Bronze Star with V device, but the discharge had left her adrift, her purpose buried under civilian indifference. Now, with Iran and Israel on the brink, she saw soldiers' faces in her mind. Young, scared, like the ones she'd patched up. A young woman at a booth, her eyes red, waved Anna over. "My fiancé's deploying to the Gulf next week," she said. "I'm terrified he won't come back." Anna sat, her medic's instinct kicking in. "He's trained," she said. "Tell him to focus on his team, they'll carry him through." The woman gripped her hand. "You've been there, haven't you?" Anna nodded, the memory of blood-soaked gloves sharp. Mid-shift, Trey's crew grew rowdy, their old habits creeping back. "Yo, Jake, pass the ketchup," Trey called, then glanced at Anna. "Sorry, Miss Carter, didn't mean to yell." But Jake, emboldened by the noise, leaned back. "Bet she got those scars in some bar fight," he said, half laughing. The diner froze, forks clinking to a stop. Anna turned, her eyes locking on Jake's. The room felt like Ramadi. Tense, waiting for the next explosion. "You think scars are funny?" she asked, her voice calm but cutting. Jake's grin faltered. "Just joking," he mumbled. Anna stepped closer, her tattoo visible, her scars unhidden. "These came from saving men braver than you'll ever be," she said. 40 minutes under fire, holding a soldier's life together. You ever held anything but a beer?" The silence was absolute. Trey's face burned red, his crew shrinking in their seats. Carl stood, his voice gruff. "That's enough, Jake. Show some respect." The old couple in the corner nodded, the wife's eyes wet. Henry emerged from the kitchen, his face stern. "Jake, you're done here," he said out. "Now?" Jake grabbed his jacket, muttering, but left without a fight. Trey stayed, his voice small. "We're not all like him, Miss Carter." Anna nodded, but her heart raced. She'd broken her silence, claimed her truth, and it felt like stepping into a fire. Terrifying, but alive. The TV flashed, a U.S. general urging calm in the Middle East. Anna's resolve hardened. She'd faced war's chaos once. She could face its echoes again. A soldier in fatigues entered, his duffel slung over his shoulder. He paused at the counter, spotting Anna's tattoo. "3rd Infantry," he asked. Ramadi. Anna nodded. 2 tours medic, his eyes widened. "Heard about you, ma'am. You're a legend." Anna shook her head. "Just a medic." He saluted, crisp and formal. "Thank you, Sergeant Carter." She returned it, the gesture stirring something dormant. A pride she'd locked away. Customers watched, some clapping softly, others wiping tears. The young woman from earlier whispered, "You're amazing." Anna's chest tightened. She wasn't amazing, just a woman who'd done her job. But maybe that was enough. That night, Anna sat in her apartment, the TV muted but showing missile silos in Iran, protests in Israel. She opened her medic bag, the smell of canvas pulling her to field hospitals, to soldiers she'd saved and lost. Ellen's VA offer replayed in her mind, "We need you." Anna had run from her past, fearing it would break her. But speaking out today had felt like healing, not hurting. She called Ellen. "I'm in," she said. "I can help at the clinic." Ellen's voice warmed. "Knew you would." "Start tomorrow." Anna agreed, a spark of purpose igniting. She wasn't in Ramadi anymore, but she could still save lives. Veterans, families, herself. The next morning, Anna walked into Henry's, her sleeves rolled up, her scars and tattoo a quiet declaration. A regular, a retired nurse paused. You're glowing today, she said. Anna smiled. Just ready, she said. John stopped by, his grin wide. Heard you took down that punk, he said. Prana laughed the sound. Light took long enough, she said. He slid the squad photo across the counter. Keep it, he said. You earned it. Anna held the photo, the faces of 12 soldiers smiling back. She'd saved them, and now she was saving herself. The TV droned on, Iran and Israel's talks faltering, but Anna felt steady. She'd faced worse, and she was ready for whatever came next. Anna Carter's sleeves stayed rolled up at Henry's diner, her 3rd Infantry tattoo a quiet testament to her past. The scars snaking up her arm no longer felt like burdens, but like proof of a fight she'd won. Since confronting Jake, the oilfield worker who'd mocked her, the diner had become a sanctuary, not just for her, but for those who saw her truth. Customers offered soft thanks, regulars shared stories of their own veteran kin, and even Trey's crew kept their heads down, their fundraiser for veterans gaining traction. But the world outside buzzed with unrest. Iran and Israel's fragile ceasefire talks dominated the diner's TV, images of warships and diplomats stirring Anna's memories of Ramadi's chaos. She'd saved lives there, shielded soldiers like John Ramsey from death's grasp. Now, with her purpose rekindled, she was ready to help again. Not in a war zone, but here, where scars, seen and unseen, needed healing. Anna's first day at the VA clinic was a whirlwind. Ellen, the volunteer coordinator, guided her through patient files, many veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan, some facing deployment again amid Middle East tensions. You'll talk to them, Ellen said, share what you've been through. Anna hesitated, her hand brushing her scarred neck. I'm no therapist, she said. You're a survivor, Ellen replied. That's what they need. Anna met a young veteran, Tim, his leg prosthetic from an IED in Kandahar. I can't sleep, he said, his voice raw. Nightmares of drones. Like the ones on the news now. Anna sat across from him, her medic's calm steadying her. I know those dreams, she said. Ramadi 2006. They fade, but you've got to face them. Tim's eyes met hers, seeing her scars. You made it through, he said. Anna nodded. So will you. Back at the diner, Anna's shifts felt different. Customers noticed her ease, the way she lingered to talk with a soldier or a worried spouse. The TV blared. Iran's president warning of retaliation if Israel struck again. A regular, Carl shook his head. More kids heading into that mess, he said. Anna poured his coffee. They're tougher than they know, she said, thinking of Tim, of herself at 22, running toward danger in Iraq. She'd treated over 100 wounded, earned a Purple Heart, a Bronze Star with V device, but the real reward was seeing soldiers like John Ramsey live. Now, she was finding that reward again, helping veterans navigate their pain. Trey approached the counter, his fundraiser flyer in hand. We're at 10,000, Miss Carter, he said, almost shy. For disabled vets, thinking of naming it after you. Anna's brow lifted. Don't, she said. Name it for all of them. Trey nodded, his respect clear. We're sorry, for before. Anna studied him, seeing a man trying to make amends. Keep doing good, she said. That's what matters. His crew had changed. Jake was gone, the others quieter. Their taunts replaced by efforts to prove they weren't the men who'd called her burn face. Anna didn't trust them fully, but she saw their effort, and it was enough for now. A soldier in dress uniform entered, his duffel heavy. Heading to the Gulf, he said, spotting Anna's tattoo. Heard about you, Sergeant. You saved a squad in Ramadi. Anna just did my job. He shook her hand firm. Gives me hope, ma'am. Thank you. Anna's chest warmed, the salute she returned feeling natural again. Customers watched, some clapping, others nodding. A young mother at a booth spoke up. My son wants to enlist, she said, scared with all this Iran stuff. What do I tell him? Anna sat, her voice steady. Tell him he's stronger than he thinks, she said. And you'll be there when he comes home. The mother teared up, squeezing Anna's hand. The TV cut to a UN summit, diplomats pushing for a lasting Iran-Israel ceasefire. Anna watched, her thoughts on Tim, on the soldier heading out, on the veterans she'd meet tomorrow. She'd faced Ramadi's fire, lost comrades, carried scars that once shamed her. But helping Tim, speaking at the diner, had shown her something. Her past wasn't have to stay buried, it could light the way for others. That evening, Anna drove to the VA clinic, her medic bag in the passenger seat, a symbol of her reclaimed purpose. She met a group of veterans, some older, some fresh from service, their eyes heavy with stories. I was a medic, she told them. 2 tours, Ramadi. I'm here to listen, to help you carry it. They nodded, a silent bond forming. Henry's diner buzzed the next morning, the air lighter despite the news. A retired teacher, a regular, paused by Anna. You're changing things, Sarah, she said, making us see the heroes around us. Anna poured her coffee. Just trying to keep up, she said, but her smile was real. John Ramsey stopped by, his army cap tilted back. Clinic going okay? He asked. Better than I expected, Anna said. Feels like being a medic again. He slid a VA card across the counter. I volunteer there too, he said. Maybe we'll cross paths. Anna laughed. You're everywhere, Corporal. He grinned. Gotta keep an eye on my hero, he said, leaving the squad photo from Ramadi on the counter. Keep it safe, he added. Anna held the photo, 12 young faces staring back. She'd saved them, shielded John from death, carried their weight in her scars. Now she was carrying others. Tim, the soldier deploying, the veterans at the clinic. The TV flickered, a U.S. envoy announcing progress in ceasefire talks. Anna exhaled, hope flickering. Wars didn't end easily, but people could heal. She tucked the photo in her apron, her resolve firm. She'd faced Ramadi's fire, survived its scars. She could face this too, not as a soldier, but as a guide for those still in the fight. That night, Anna sat in her apartment, her purple heart glinting under the lamp. She traced its edges, thinking of Ramadi, of the diner, of the veterans she'd help tomorrow. Ellen had offered her a paid role at the VA, but Anna hadn't decided. Volunteering felt right for now, a way to test her strength. The news played softly, Iran and Israel's talks holding for now. Anna flipped it off, her medic bag by her side. She wasn't running anymore, her scars, her service, her purpose. They were hers to claim, a bridge between Ramadi's past and a future she was building, one veteran at a time. Henry's diner glowed under the West Texas sun, its neon star sign a beacon for travelers and locals alike. Renamed Henry's Memorial Diner to honor veterans, it was no longer just a roadside stop, but a heaven where stories of service were shared over coffee and pie. Anna Carter moved through the booths, her 3rd Infantry tattoo bold on her forearm, her scars a proud map of her courage. 6 months after John Ramsey revealed her as a Ramadi hero, Anna had transformed from a silent waitress to a symbol of resilience. The diner's walls held photos of local veterans, their sacrifices celebrated, while outside, the world watched Iran and Israel's fragile ceasefire hold, barely. Anna's work at the VA clinic and her presence at the diner had woven her past into a new legacy, one that lifted others even as she healed herself. The morning rush was steady, the air rich with bacon and fresh coffee. Trey's Wheelfield crew, now regulars, kept their voices low, their fundraiser for veterans hitting $15,000. Miss Carter, we're doing a vet barbecue next month, Trey said, sliding a flyer across the counter. You'll come, right? Anna nodded, her smile genuine. If I'm free, she said. Their change was profound. No more taunts, just respect earned through shame and effort. Carl, the regular at the counter, sipped his coffee, the TV above him quiet for once. Heard the ceasefire's sticking, he said. Hope it lasts. Anna poured a refill. Me too, she said, her thoughts on the soldiers still in the Gulf, facing the same fears she'd known in Ramadi. Anna's days at the VA clinic had grown fuller. She met veterans like Tim, whose nightmares of Kandahar echoed her own, and older ones from Vietnam, their silence breaking under her steady gaze. I was a medic, 2 tours in Iraq, she'd tell them, her scars visible. You're not alone in this. Her words, simple but lived, built trust. Tim had started therapy, his sleep improving, and thanked her weekly. You made me believe I could get better, he said, his prosthetic leg clicking as he left the clinic. Anna's heart swelled. She wasn't saving lives under fire anymore, but she was saving them still, one conversation at a time. The diner's new veterans wall drew crowds. Photos of soldiers, sailors, medics, some smiling, some somber, lined the space, each with a story. Anna's was there, a shot from Ramadi, her face dusty but determined, captioned Sergeant Anna Carter, 3rd Infantry Medic Hero. She'd protested the label, but Henry insisted. You're why this place matters now, he said. Customers left notes beneath the photos. Thanks, prayers, names of loved ones lost. A young soldier fresh from basic paused at Anna's picture. You're her, he said, awed. My sergeant told us about you. Saved a squad under fire. Anna shook her head. Just did my job, she said, but her smile was softer now, accepting the pride. John Ramsey stopped by, his army cap a familiar sight. Clinic keeping you busy, he asked, sipping coffee. More than the diner, Anna said, laughing. You were right, I was meant for more. He slid a VA flyer across the counter. We're starting a peer group for Iraq vets, he said. Thought you'd lead it with me. Anna considered it, her medic's instinct stirring. I'm in, she said. John grinned, leaving the Ramadi squad photo on the counter. It's yours, he said. Keep their faces close. Anna held the photo, 12 soldiers smiling, alive because of her. She tucked it in her apron, a reminder of why she kept going. The TV flickered, a reporter noting Iran and Israel's ceasefire talks advancing, U.S. diplomats cautiously optimistic. Anna exhaled, hope mingling with caution. She'd seen too many soldiers pay for broken truces. A mother at a booth waved her over. My daughter's deploying, she said. With all this Middle East stuff, I'm scared. Anna sat, her voice calm. Your daughter's trained, she said. She'll find her strength out there. Tell her you're proud. The mother nodded, tears falling. You're a blessing, Anna. Anna squeezed her hand, feeling Ramadi's weight but also its power. She'd survived, and now she was helping others do the same. Henry's Memorial Diner became a hub for veterans, drawn by Anna's story. A Marine from Afghanistan shared his PTSD struggles over pie. A Vietnam vet swapped medic tales with her, their laughter easing old wounds. Trey's barbecue raised $20,000, the funds aiding local vets' programs. We named it Heroes Fund, Trey told Anna, his eyes earnest. For all of you, Anna nodded, pride flickering. Good call, she said. Henry added a free meal program for veterans on holidays, the diner's profits soaring as word spread. Anna's story hit local news, then national, inspiring diners across the country to honor their own hidden heroes. Anna's nights ended at the clinic, her medic bag a constant companion. She led John's peer group, veterans sharing stories of Iraq's dust and home silence. I hid my scars for years, she told them, her voice steady. But they're proof I fought, and so are yours. The group nodded, their bonds tightening. Ellen offered Anna a full-time VA role, but she stayed part-time, balancing the diner and clinic. It feels right, she told Ellen, like I'm where I belong. The ceasefire held, for now, but Anna knew war's shadow lingered. She'd faced it before, in Ramadi and herself. She could face it again. One evening, Anna stood behind the counter, Luna helping a customer, Mia restocking the cafe. A retired general entered, his medals glinting. Sergeant Carter, he said, shaking her hand. Your work here at the VA, it's saving lives. Anna blushed. Just doing my part, sir, he smiled. That's what heroes say. As he left, Anna paused at the veteran's wall, her photo among dozens. Henry's voice came from the kitchen. You've changed this place, Anna. She smiled, her scars warm under her touch. Not just this place, she thought. Herself, too. Anna stood in Henry's Memorial Diner's lot, the stars bright above the neon sign. The world was quieter tonight, Iran and Israel's ceasefire holding, a fragile hope against war's pull. She traced her scars, once a source of shame, now a map of her strength. Ramadi had forged her, but this diner, these veterans, her own heart, they'd rebuilt her. She thought of John Tim, the soldiers deploying, the faces on the veterans' wall. They carried scars too, seen and unseen, but they weren't alone. Anna wasn't alone. Her purple heart sat on her dresser, no longer hidden, a reminder of a medic who'd run toward danger and found her way back. I'm here, Dad, she whispered, imagining her father, a veteran himself, watching. I'm still fighting. Her breath steadied. Whatever came, war, pain, or peace, she'd face it not as a hero, but as Anna Carter, whole at last. If stories like this move you, hit the like button and subscribe, there's more to come. Look closer. Heroes are all around you.